Greetings and salutations, Second Star here with some more Rage Shadow Legends, and today I wanted to go over this champion that I thought was super interesting when I pulled her a while ago. It took a while to build because this is my free-to-play account, but I thought that the Crypt Witch had a super interesting skill set, and now, of course, this not to confuse the Crypt Witch with a Triptych, which is a three-paneled art form. This one is the Garden of Earthly Delights by Hieronymus Bosch, hanging in the Prado in Madrid, and also not to be confused with the Crypt Witch Triptych, which is of my own design. Anyway, so I thought the character is really cool looking too. I really like the how the Night Revenants have the skull encased in this metal headgear, skull crown, Doom Priest. They all have something similar, and it kind of reminds me of, it harkens back to Batman Forever when Michelle Pfeiffer was in her bondage suit Catwoman outfit. This is kind of reminiscent of like an introduction to Hellraiser. You know, a little bit of a Hellraiser design. I think it's pretty sweet. Let's look a little bit closer. On her head, we have Bellum Aeon Veritas engraved in the crown, and Bellum Aeon Veritas is war and truth. Veritas is truth, Bellum's war, Veritas is truth. Aeon is not really Latin, but I think what they're trying to go for here is kind of like eternity. So it's eternal war on truth, maybe? Could be, or if they were going to go a little bit deeper, Aeon, let's say that she was a fighter from the early Roman days. Maybe the Aeon refers to the Gnostics, the different kind of breakaway Christian sect that was competing with Orthodox Christianity at the time. The Aeon was the superstructure of their ideas of heaven to earth. So there was like 30 Aeons. They were hypostatic ideas in syzygies, like a male and female component, and it went from like the heavenly down to the earthly. And actually, Crypt Witch being interesting. This Crypt Witch was originally Crypt Guard. Like if you read her lore on the Plarium forum page, she's not called Crypt Witch. She's called Crypt Guard, and it's male. Now they made it Crypt Witch instead, made it female, which is interesting if they going down the kind of the Gnostic route for Aeon. Sophia is a central character in the Gnostic sect. She's kind of the female epitome, and it was her curiosity and passion that made her fall to the earthly realm, and it was her journey to get back. It's kind of reflected in the journey of the Gnostics, because the Gnostics believe that heaven or enlightenment or whatever was achieved through the acquisition of knowledge rather than faith. So unfortunately, the Gnostics lost out in the great religion battle, and now everything is pray for salvation rather than earn and learn your salvation. But regardless, it probably just means eternal war on truth, and not this whole long spiel that I went into about Gnostics. Who knows? Probably not. But it'd be cool if it was, though, right? And on the back, we have, oh my god! Okay, so apparently a xenomorph is trying to burst out of the back of her skull. Or maybe it's Voldemort. I don't know. Regardless, that is really unpleasant, and I kind of dig it. Superbia Avaritia Prolium. That is Superbia is pride. Avaritia is greed or avarice, and Prolium is battle. So it's probably like the battle of war and greed, or use war and greed to bring conflict. I don't know, something like that. Kind of cool. Again, awesome character design. I really like the Crypt Witch. I think it's super cool. Now let's go into skills a little bit. Again, not so fast I went over. Interesting counter to speed meta, or the early counter to speed meta when it first came out. We'll see how well it actually works. She has a dismantle on her A2, which attacks 2 times at random with a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. And that's on a 4-turn cooldown that you can get down to 3 turns. So it's kind of a, if you wanted to invest books in this champion. Again, I don't know if that's a super good idea. We'll go into that later. But you can get it down to 100% chance and on a 3-turn cooldown. It's random, not really random. I mean, you pick one target, kind of, and then the other one is random. But a 60% defense down is really good debuff. Unfortunately, it's only 2. And then A1 is a super good A1. Attacks one enemy, deals 30% more damage if the target has any buffs, and will ignore shield and block damage buffs. This is an awesome, amazing arena A1 and magic keep. Very, very good in those two areas. And now that the synergies, though, kind of I don't know how to explain it. I tried this with Helm Smasher. Immediately, you think all these ignore defense or ignore part of defense would align very well with Helm Smasher, and it does. But again, it just brings back that Helm Smasher is just such an inconsistent tier 6. I have a hard time investing all these scrolls in Helm Smasher when it only has a 50% chance of actually working. Now, it's great that it all lines up. For skills like ignore defense, 20%, 25% is in addition to the amount ignored by the skill. So it really works in well with her A3, but 50% of the time, it's not good enough, I don't think. So I instead went with Flawless Execution for the additional 20% crit damage, because it's just more consistent. Now again, that kind of brings up a gearing issue, because you are kind of dependent on having a lot of crit, and this is on me that she doesn't have 100% crit rate, because I was just like, I want to use my divine divine crit rate gloves, because I didn't have very many good ones, but I did have crit damage crit rate gloves, which I thought was cool. I should probably put that to use. But I did not have the gear to equal 100% crit rate. It just didn't work out for me, because it's free to play and I just didn't have a whole lot. And then this was my only crit rate amulet, or crit damage amulet, was 4 stars. So not perfectly geared. Again, this is free to play, so I did the best I could. It took me 2 weeks to put all this together. Also, running Spider. Oh, it's so long just trying to get stupid crit damage neck was giving me great agita. Okay, so masteries. If we want to go over anything else, I did select the accuracy skill tree. And again, we want to make sure that she doesn't get too fast, so I skipped a lot of the go fast skills. But I did get the turn meter skills, because turn meters I don't think is the same as speed. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think you can increase your turn meter to go faster that one turn than actually increasing your speed. And I think your A3 was working off the rate of speed, not where turn meter is. So I did. If there was skills where I could increase turn meter, I went with that. But if it was increased speed, then no. And then of course, just getting Master Hexer and Sniper to help land those decreased defense debuffs. And then of course, decreasing target's turn meter is always a good thing. And I did try to get things that helps in arena, so that's why I got the shield breaker. If I know her A1 ignores shield, but if I was going to use the A2 and the A3, that would kick in. Not a lot of survivability, so I got the life drinker, and of course I wanted help. I wanted flawless execution, so that's why I kind of went over on that side. But that's all pretty bog standard. But that's why I did what I did. Her total stats, again, it's hard with the free-to-play account, but I did bump up her hit points a lot, because I want to bring in an arena, and when you're facing these nuke teams, you just gotta live through that initial barrage and then try to recover. So that's why she's stacked on hit points as much as I could. Her other stats suffer a little bit, but what are you gonna do? 2,700 attack, some defense. Speed is low because of her A3. Crit rate 72%, best I could do at the time. Crit damage 185%, which is pretty decent for where she is level wise and where I am in account wise. 70% resist, and 131 accuracy, because I really wanted to land those debuffs. Okay, so let me take you into switch over to OBS. Let me take you into Media Source 2. Which one is that? Okay, so this is the arena fight. I picked one that was heavy on defense. Now, this doesn't really make her A3 viable, but it does make her A1 super useful, because they have a Krisk, which is a tough nut to crack. Krisk is super tanky, so I thought it would be a good time to bring in kind of my anti-tanky champion and see what we could do. Now the team composition is interesting. They're super tanky, what with the Jizo and the Krisk, and they have some heals and turn manipulation with Painkeeper, but their only damage is from Aethel. So that they maybe could have chosen another a different support champion other than Painkeeper maybe in this particular setup. Maybe they thought if they can make Aethel keep going, they could do a lot of damage, but I'm pretty tanky too with Tyrant and Valkyrie, so the two teams line up pretty well with one another. I actually, even though they had a Krisk and were super tanky, I was pretty confident they could withstand their blows, and I thought that my Crypt Witch was better than their Aethel, basically. Waiting for Crypt Witch to do something. Okay, he had a defense down, so I balanced rather than attacked, even though I probably could have taken out the Painkeeper, or at least got her really low. Okay, so do I do A3 here? Yeah, so here I A3, so I was seeing if I can take out Painkeeper one shot. Almost. She had the ally protect up, so without the ally protect, she definitely would have gone down. And I buff up. Again, I don't have a lot of debuffs. The only debuff I have is from Crypt Witch, her defense down. That's it. Everything else is buffing myself. Yeah, there's some counterattacks. See, it's hard to get them down with their heals and their counterattacks. But Painkeeper goes down here. I get a nice crit with my A1. Ignores all the defense. We take out Aethel, and now they have, unless Jizo goes on steroids, they don't have any way to really damage us at this point. And now it's just a matter of whittling them down. And now I'm going to try to land my debuffs, which I do actually land my debuffs on both champions, which is pretty sweet. I minimized Chris' cooldowns. I wasn't sure if he was going to do. He was going to recover from that, so I did land the skill cooldowns too from Sinesha, which was nice. All right. Again, they're just tanky, so it just takes a while. And again, I don't have perfect gear, so get a nice 8,000 crit. Sinesha finished the job. Once you get down below 50%, love that skill that Sinesha brings. Bring up some counters. And then I try my A3. Does about 9,500. Not bad, but I would have been better. I actually, even at 126, I'm faster than that Krisk. We saw at the very beginning, my entire team went before their team even took a turn. So she did 83,000 damage. Definitely was my main source and what helped bring everybody down. So good on you in that run. That's kind of what you see is she's really good in the arena because a lot of people are going defensive and tanky now, and that just kind of works out. Okay, so let's now we'll go in the Magic Keep now. This is just towards the end. This is wave 2. I just wanted to get to the boss. The boss is what really matters. And again, it's this. I did a video a while ago about buff stealers and how great they were in Magic Keep, but a lot of the like the rare buff stealers don't have a lot of utility outside Magic Keep. So if you don't want to build or any concentrate on that, but you have a Crypt Witch, she's actually really, really useful in this dungeon. So as you can see from my setup, I even have Apothecary in there, which you think wouldn't align well with the A3, which is kind of like the Crypt Witch calling card. But it doesn't matter in these because the dungeon bosses are slow, so she's not really going to benefit from A3. And incidentally, she doesn't use her A3. If you're autoing, she doesn't use her A3. I don't know if it's because the AI is smart enough to know that it's pointless, or if it's just a happy accident that the A3 just doesn't use her A3 and it wouldn't matter if she did. Who knows? We can give Prime the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, nice coding skills, knocking off that A3 on boss fights where it's not going to do as much damage as an A1 or an A2. Now, she does use her A2 when the shield is up, which seems kind of useless. I mean, if the shield's going to be up, just use your A1. Right here, right there. We've got a nice big hit with the shield up. Completely ignores the shield and goes right into the hit points of the boss, and that's what her A1 is there for. I did do this on manual a couple times just to see if the A3 made any kind of positive benefit, and it really doesn't. So I guess bringing it all together, Crypt Witch is a really cool looking champion. She's got interesting lore. A very interesting skill set, but it just seems like it's past its point of usefulness. I think that now with Tormund, I think a lot of people did the fusion. I didn't on my free-to-play account, but Tormund is the speed killer now, and Crypt Witch not really. Doesn't really have the this A3 just doesn't seem to work as much as it does, and her base damage stat isn't even top tier. For a single target champion like this, she does. She's under Whisper, under Pitiless One, under Skullcrown, above Necrohunter. If we're just talking about Night Revenant champions, she's kind of a second tier damage. So I wanted her to be better than she is, and she's good. I mean, she has a lot of anti-tank capability, but you have to have the right gear, have to build just right. And if you're going to go Helm Smasher, which is what you really should do, you have to be lucky. You know, I just think that she needs a buff. Helm Smasher needs a buff, and she needs to do just a little bit more damage. Helm Smasher needs to be a little bit better, and I think then she would be a really, really great Arena and Magic Keep champion. But Arena is where I kind of see her usefulness, and I just think she needs a little bit more buffing, a little tweaking, and we can get there. She could be a really good anti-tank Arena champion. Anything else to add? Let me think here. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please comment, subscribe. If my Latin's wrong, or if my Gnosticism history lesson was a bit off, you know, I'm doing the best I can here, and I'm just enjoying myself. If you have any comments, again, leave them below. Please subscribe. That would help me out immensely. And if you have any questions about this champion, let me know, and I will do my best to assist. All right, guys, I'm out. Have fun and enjoy.